It was a warm, breezy evening in Malibu, the kind where the sunset painted the sky in streaks of gold and pink, and the ocean murmured softly against the shore. In a tucked-away corner of a luxurious beachfront bistro called Luna Mer *, two familiar faces sat close together, their laughter blending with the gentle murmur of other diners. Meghan Markle, the former Duchess of Sussex, glowing in a simple yet elegant white sundress, leaned forward slightly, her smile lighting up the intimate space. Across from her sat Mark Consuelos, the charismatic star of Riverdale *, effortlessly handsome in a navy linen shirt that seemed tailor-made for the California evening. For months, whispers had danced through Hollywood circles about Meghan's rumored social connections post-royal life. While she and Prince Harry had been the talk of the town since stepping back from royal duties, no one had anticipated this, an unexpected pairing that seemed to have materialized out of nowhere. And yet, here they were. Unbeknownst to the pair, the restaurant's discreetly placed security cameras had captured their entrance earlier in the evening. Meghan arrived first, stepping into the bistro with her signature grace. Her hair, loose in gentle waves, framed her radiant face as she greeted the maître d' warmly. A few minutes later, Mark entered, his confidence immediately commanding attention. He spotted her instantly, his face breaking into a warm smile, and as they exchanged a brief but meaningful hug, the chemistry between them was undeniable. The cameras caught the subtle moments throughout the evening, the way Mark leaned in close as Meghan spoke, his hand occasionally brushing hers as he gestured. Meghan's laughter seemed unguarded, free, the kind of laugh that comes from genuine enjoyment. She reached for her glass of wine at one point, their fingers lightly touching as Mark handed it to her. It was a fleeting moment, but the kind of detail that would later send tabloids into a frenzy. The pair shared a meal of fresh seafood and Mediterranean-inspired dishes, but it was the dessert that seemed to cement the intimacy of their evening. A decadent chocolate torte arrived, and Mark playfully offered Meghan the first bite, holding the fork out to her with a teasing grin. She obliged, her eyes sparkling as she tasted the treat. They exchanged knowing smiles, the kind that felt far too familiar for two people who were merely friends. The staff at Luna Mer * was sworn to discretion, but even they couldn't help but notice the chemistry. One waiter, who later spoke anonymously to a tabloid, described the scene. They weren't trying to hide anything, but they also weren't flaunting it. It was natural, like they were in their own little bubble. You could tell they were really connecting. As the evening stretched on, Meghan and Mark lingered over their wine, their conversation flowing effortlessly. The cameras caught them leaning closer as the hours passed, their voices lowering to an intimate murmur. Outside the restaurant, the moon had risen high, casting a silver glow over the beach. It was nearly midnight when they finally decided to leave. The footage showed them stepping out together, the cool night air ruffling Meghan's hair. Mark immediately shrugged off his jacket, draping it over her shoulders with an easy familiarity. They walked side by side toward the shoreline, their silhouettes outlined against the glittering waves. At one point, Meghan paused, slipping off her heels to feel the sand beneath her feet. Mark chuckled softly, bending down to pick them up for her. The walk along the beach seemed timeless, the pair deep in conversation. Meghan gestured animatedly, her hands moving as she told a story, while Mark nodded, his gaze never leaving her face. Whatever they were discussing, it was clear they were engrossed, their connection undeniable. By the next morning, the grainy footage from the restaurant security cameras had somehow found its way into the hands of a paparazzo. Within hours, the headlines were everywhere: Meghan Markle and Mark Consuelos, Malibu's new power couple. Social media erupted with speculation. Some fans were thrilled by the idea of the pairing, while others were more skeptical. "Where's Harry in all of this?" one tweet read, while another declared, "Meghan and Mark are the duo we never knew we needed." Neither Meghan nor Mark addressed the rumors directly. Meghan's representatives declined to comment, and Mark simply smiled when asked about the outing during a press event later that week. Still, the footage told a story that needed no words. Hollywood insiders buzzed with theories. Was this a budding romance? A long-time friendship that had suddenly deepened? Or perhaps just a one-off dinner between two people who happened to click? Whatever the case, the images of their evening together, the shared laughter, the stolen glances, the moonlit walk along the beach, became the stuff of legend. For Meghan and Mark, however, the night was likely just that, a single, magical evening under the Malibu sky. Whether it was the beginning of something more or simply a fleeting moment of connection, one thing was certain: the world would be watching, waiting to see what happened next.